are tough. People are desperate for cash, trying to make ends meet. And the scammers know this, and they've infiltrated Stokvels, I understand.
That's right, and Stokvels are some of the most trusted schemes that people enter into for opportunities to gain some money invested, right, Sally? And obviously the scammers have hopped onto this now. So the Financial Sector Conduct Authority has warned the public against scams operating under the guise of Stokvels. The scams offer financial products or services that are outside of the law. Andrew Lukhele, who's the chairperson of the National Stokvel Association of South Africa, joins us this evening to talk more about this. A very good evening to you, Mr. Lukhele, and thank you for joining us this evening. Now, the Financial Sector Conduct Authority has identified two scams that are operating as Stokvels at the moment that they are investigating. And I just want you to maybe start by giving us a sense of the trend of growing Stokvel scams and consumers that are being duped by these scamsters.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I think there's a realization that Stokvels are a big business in the country. As a result, some people take advantage of the vulnerability of Stokvel members in terms of understanding financial services. And I think as an association, we have seen the mushrooming of certain scams that pretend to be Stokvels, and yet they're doing something different. Now, what we have identified is that people deviate from the cultural definition of a Stokvel. A Stokvel ordinarily would be formed by people who come from the same neighborhood, people who know each other very well. The basic tenet of a Stokvel would be peer pressure and trust. So in the absence of those basic tenets, it is easy for anyone to use social media and as faceless people to they would be investors into believing that they can deliver better returns in the shortest space of time, which is impossible.
And tell us, how do our consumers spot this? Because one of them, which was mentioned by News 24 earlier on, the United African Stokvel, is still operating on Facebook, for example. And by the looks of things, it does look legitimate. So how do we spot fraudulent operators within the Stokvel space? And how does the regulator then penalize these scamsters? Have you seen any jail time after investigations or any kind of a penalty that is paid by these fraudsters, if not jail time?
Yeah, look, we are a government, an non-governmental organization, so we are very limited in terms of resources to identify and act against those who are breaking the law. So the Financial Sector Conduct Authority is authorized by government to track down and investigate those schemes. And it has come to our attention that at some stage, the United African Stokvel approached the association with the intention of registering themselves as a Stokvel. And we realized that they don't tick all the good boxes to be defined as a Stokvel, and we declined their application because we don't believe they are a Stokvel. They're just a group of few people who solicit the support of the public in terms of promising them some kind of investment and that type of a thing. So unfortunately, we don't have the resources that the Financial Sector Conduct Authority have. So we rely on them to some extent, but we're always on the lookout for dodgy schemes.
Yeah, and just as a final note from you there, because our line is failing us, Mr. Lukhele, just as some of the things that a consumer should spot when it comes to a Stokvel that may not bring the returns that one is looking for. You did mention unreasonably high returns in a short space of time, but what are some of the other things that we might overlook in general when it comes to a dodgy Stokvel, if you will?
Yeah, look, it is better to be part of a Stokvel from the start of the formation of the Stokvel. However, it is possible for individuals to express interest in joining an existing stokvel. Now, what happens in the genuine stokvels in the townships, if my friend is interested in joining my stokvel, my responsibility is to recommend that individual to my stokvel. So I take responsibility for the behavior of the new member that I've introduced. So stokvel members who want to, or rather community members who want to join a stokvel, must come via an existing member of that stokvel. The number of members is not even known, how much they are contributing, what is the payout ratio, so that you know exactly by joining a stokvel that what is due to you will come at this duration or this interval. So these are some of the things that you need to look out for before you even join a stokvel. You need to familiarize yourself with the rules of the group and as well as the individuals themselves.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Andrew Lukhele, joining us this evening. He's the chairperson of the National Stokvel Association of South Africa, just speaking about the worrying trend that scamsters are now taking advantage of consumers via stokvels. Here's a look at